Dear students, good morning to one and all. Previous classes we discussed about the root and the stem. Once again, what is meaning of the root and what is meaning of the stem? The root means the part of the plant body is present below the soil or underground, that is called root. In this root, developed from the radical of the embryo in a germinating seed. These roots always grown in positively geotropism. And the means of stem. The part of the plant body is present above the soil or aerial, that is called the stem. So in this stem is developed from the plumule of the embryo in a germinating seed. So in this stem is always grown in positively put out tropism. So these are some general characteristics in the root and the stem. Now today we are going to discuss about the leaf. What are the general characteristic features in the leaf? So first of all, what is meaning of the leaf? Dear students, the leaf is a lateral, generally flat and structure borne on the stem, that is called leaf. So in this leaf is always green in color. Why? Because in this leaf containing some chlorophyll pigments such as chlorophyll A especially and also chlorophyll B. These chlorophyll pigments to be consisting of chloroplast, Now dear students, so this is a diagrammatic representation of leaf. So in this leaf consisting of mainly three parts, they are namely leaf base, petal and lamina. Okay now. So the leaf consisting of three main parts, they are namely first part leaf base, second part petal, third part lamina. So discuss about the one by one. So dear students, the leaf is a lateral, generally flat and structure, green in color, borne on the node of the stem. Dear students, this is a stem, generally stem containing nodes and internodes. Two nodes between the one internode. So generally, these leaves develop at the node of the stem. This is a stem and this is a node. Okay now. So it develops by means the leaves develops at the node of the stem. Leaves as well as flowers is always developed only node of the stem, not developed internode of the stem. This is very important here. So this is one aerial part of the leaf and flattened structure, green in color, is always arranged lateral side, not horizontally, not vertically, is always to be formed laterally. But here it develops at the node of the stem and BSA bars. So these leaves develop to node of the stem at the same time to be BS of the bars. In which type of bars? Only auxiliary bars. Only develop to the auxiliary bars. Some of the auxiliary bars to be developed node of the stem or petal of the leaf. develops or the leaves develops at the node of the stem and bears a bar that is axillary bar. So axillary bar later develops into a branch. Axillary bar later develops into a branch. By means axillary bars are seen in petiole or leaf base of the leaf. Leaf base of the leaf. So next one here, leaves originate from shoot apical meristem. So roots is always developed from originated from root apical meristem. But here stem and leaves is always originate from shoot apical meristem. Shoot apical meristem is always to be developed shoot system, that is stem branches, leaves, flowers and fruits. But root apical meristem only developed to be root system, that is primary root and remaining lateral roots such as secondary roots and tertiary roots. So dear students, so meristems are of mainly two types. They are namely root apical meristem and shoot apical meristem. The root apical meristem are present only root parts. The shoot apical meristem present in shoot parts such as stem part, branch parts and loose parts, flower parts and fruit parts. Next coming to, so what are the important thing in leaves? What is the main function of the leaves? Dear students, they are the most important vegetative organ for photosynthesis. This is a most vegetative organ in the photosynthesis. The leaf is always carry out photosynthesis. Why? Because these leaves are having to chloroplasts at the same time containing chlorophyll pigments. In the presence of sunlight to be make a own their food materials. So in these food materials are transported within the all parts of the plant body within the help of xylem and phloem. Next coming to a typical leaf base. A typical leaf consists of three main parts. They are namely, first one here leaf base, second one are here petiole, third one here lamina or leaf blade. In generally, a typical leaf consists of three main parts. They are namely, the first one leaf base, okay now, second one the petiole, third one lamina. So what is the meaning of leaf base? What are the useful for leaf base? And what is the meaning of petiole? What are the useful for petiole? And what is the meaning of lamina or leaf blade? So what are the useful for lamina? Okay now, one by one. So first one here, the leaf base. So the leaf is, this is a leaf. So the leaf is always attached to the node of the stem. The leaf or petiole of the leaf. Petiole of the leaf is always attached to the node of the stem, that is called leaf base. And at the same time, this leaf base may bear two small leaf-like structures. So these two small leaf-like structures, that is called stipules. What are the use of stipules? These stipules are always useful for protect of the axillary barks. These stipules are always help in protect the axillary barks. So dear students, so in angiosperms are divided into two classes. They are namely, first one monocotyledons, second one dicotyledons. So what is meaning of monocotyledons? In generally, so the embryo containing two cotyledons, that is called dicotyledons, especially neem tree, banyan tree and bean plants. But here in some of the plants, the embryo containing only one cotyledon or single cotyledon, that is called monocotyledons. Given the examples for here, all grass plants, as well as rice, wheat, maize, and sugarcane. So in these plants are here, all are monocotyledons. But one important thing are here in monocotyledons, the leaf base expands. The leaf base, this is a stem, and this is also node. So the leaf base expands into a sheath covering the stem partially or wholly, covering the stem. This is a leaf base. So not express of the leaf base or not clearly shown of the leaf base. So this leaf base is covered node of the stem. This leaf base is covered node of the stem, especially rice plants, wheat plants, and maize plants, and also sugarcane plants. So this is a leaf. So not clearly shown of leaf base. Why? So especially in monocotyledons, the leaf base expands into a sheath covering the node of the stem, partially or wholly. This is very important thing are here. In rice plants, wheat plants, maize plants, these are monocotyledon plants. The leaf base expands into a sheath covering the partially or wholly into the stem. But here in some of the dicotyledon plants, especially the leguminous plants or Fabaceae Fabaceae family members, such as bean plants, nut plants, gram plants. So the leaf base may become, this is a stem, and this is a node, and this is a leaf base. The leaf base may become, so the leaf base, this is a leaf base, and this is a petiole, and this is a leaf. So the leaf base may become swollen. The leaf base may become swollen, which is called pulvinous leaf base. Pulvinous leaf base. This is very important over here. In monocotyledon plants such as rice, wheat, maize, and sugarcane, the leaf base expands into a sheath covering the node of the stem partially or wholly. And another important thing are here, in some of the dicotyledon plants such as leguminous plants or Fabaceae family members, includes nut plants, gram plants, bean plants, especially shown on Mimosa pudica. The leaf base, this is a leaf base, not swollen, but few plants, especially leguminous family members or Fabaceae family members, the leaf base may become swollen. The leaf base may become swollen, which is called pulvinous leaf base. So in this pulvinous leaf base are seen only leguminous plants or Fabaceae family members. Okay now. So this is a leaf base. So next second part are here the petiole. So this is a petiole. In generally the petiole is long, thin, and very flexible. The petiole is long, thin, very flexible, and attached to the lamina and leaf base. So the petiole is always mid of the lamina and leaf base. Or leaf base and lamina is connected or attached by petiole. The leaf base and the lamina is connected within the petiole. Generally in petiole, long, thin, and very flexible. So what is the use of petiole? So this petiole helps in exposing the lamina to sunlight. This petiole is always exposing the lamina or leaf blade or the leaf to sunlight. In which purpose? Photosynthesis purpose. Next coming to third part, the lamina. Okay now. So this is a lamina or a leaf blade. So the lamina or the leaf blade is the green in color. Why? Because containing chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B pigments. But here which content of chlorophyll A pigments? Expanded part of the leaf. So with veins and veinlets. So this lamina or a leaf blade is always green in color, expanded with the part of the leaf and also containing veins and veinlets. This is a vein and these are veinlets. These are veinlets. But here in generally there is usually a middle prominent vein. This is a middle prominent vein, larger in size and thickness. Larger in size and thickness and is always consisting of the middle prominent vein. So this vein is also known as midrib. This is also midrib. So midrib is always located the mid of the leaf. The mid of the leaf. Once again. So there is usually a middle prominent vein which is known as the midrib. Which is known as the midrib. What is the use of midrib or vein? So this veins is always provide a rigidity by means flexibility and to the leaf blade and act as one channel. Act as one channel of transport of water, minerals and food materials. Okay now, once again. So the part of the leaf, that is lamina and leaf blade, containing veins and veinlets. So these veins is usually a middle prominent, so which is known as the midrib. So midrib and veins both are similar words. So in this veins provide is always rigidity or flexibility to the leaf blade or lamina and also mainly act as channels of transport for water, minerals and food materials. So how is it possible? By means the midrib and the veins internally will be containing transport tissues or vascular tissues such as xylem and phloem. So xylem and phloem will be containing the midrib or vein. The midrib and vein. So the midrib or vein will be containing transported tissues or vascular tissues such as xylem and phloem. So these are not exposing of the externally, is always located internally to be midrib. So in this xylem is always transported of water and minerals from the root to lymph nodes and phloem is always transported of food materials from the leaf to remaining all part of the plant body, all part of the plant body. So dear students, these are the general character features of the leaf. So this is about the leaf. Okay now, thank you.